no one told me that In-N-Out, whether or not it's good or bad, would make your tum-tum hurt
Listen,
so much.
I don't want to talk about your sex life anymore, John. Particularly not at the start of an episode.
If it burns, you should seek treatment. Or
Or
lube.
or meat seekment.
Meat segment. I had my first In-N-Out burger in over at least 10 years.
Oh, come on. I know you've had meat in your mouth much more recently than that. I've been there.
Not from In-N-Out.
I went in and out. I fairly vigorously.
I would do it again.
Did you
I
get
would
it
kill
animal
again.
style? Did you get it animal style?
No, I just got a double with onions, fries, and a chocolate shake.
Wrong.
Thanks. Thanks, Shane.
Mute him. His opinion's invalid the rest of the night.
Okay.
Wait, whose is? I gotta make sure
How do you in and out?
Yeah, how do you In-N-Out, Courtney?
I already told you, John.
Well,
Okay.
Wow.
It's double animal style. Add raw onion, extra lettuce, extra tomato. If you're gonna do fries, they have to be animal style with a packet of extra spread. And then if you're getting a drink, it's a pink lemonade Arnold Palmer. And if you're doing a shake, then you're gonna do a black and white.
What do you order when you go to Starbucks?
I just ordered the spread.
yeah. Hold on. How about you do some
That sounded
comparisons
like a
real quick?
Starbucks order right there.
So what is Shane's Starbucks order? And then let's hear Courtney's.
No one asked for my in and out.
Yeah, I want
And
to hear
I'm
that
used to
first.
this.
Yeah, we want to know how you go in and out, Shane.
Yeah, usually throwing your back out, right?
As I said, I just asked for the spread. So that's the only thing I need.
He heard like all of his trigger words in like one thing.
I am so primed right now. I actually do the really ridiculous version now. I do protein style, so I just do them lettuce wraps.
Okay.
Still
Yes,
good.
I just want all the meat and the lettuce to hold it.
They have the meats. That's their slogan, Shane.
No.
No, that's
I have the meats
I
when they're
know.
done with me.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's on my mind, because I sat down. I'm like, man, this is what happens when you only eat fast food. Like the tum-tums just don't feel nice.
Do you need a die for the tum tum?
I think the In-N-Out's gonna make me die.
Oh no.
Ay. We're not going to get into Starbucks because I'll be here all day.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
That was just the first thing that came to mind when it took more than a couple of sentences to describe what she wanted. I'm like,
I will tell you though, Michael, it involves a lot of pumps.
one pump, one cream.
Can you handle it, big boy?
That's all you need. One pump, one cream.
Speaking of pumps and cream, welcome to the Disinformed podcast and Heil, come slingers. I'm
Heil.
Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
I like how meta the show got, because it went from like a show about esoteric things to now there's esoteric sign-ins, where it's like, when did Cumslingers start?
When did it?
That's the season 3 arc, pun intended.
What a sticky season we have ahead.
Oh, God.
Well, I've been sticking it everywhere. You will note from my beverage here that I went to our former sponsor today.
Taco Bell. Ooh.
I rang the bell, and now I'm going to hell because there was some form of they finally talked me out of their food. I've been begging them to do it for years and years now, and
How so?
And we finally got the Kill Bill moment where it's like, are you trying to convince me? I think you just fucking convinced me. I got a chicken quesadilla, and there was a piece of cartilage in there that was big enough that I thought that I had actually just bitten into a live chicken. And so
They gave you the Arnie Hammer special.
apparently,
Ooh,
so
yum.
yeah, I think no more.
It was so dead he was trying to fuck it.
Moving on.
Okay. I still like that joke, and I'm going to still say it.
Well, thinking of things that are dead that we're trying to fuck, this show is typically founded on the notion that we will delve into a random esoteric topic, and in the course of beating it into the ground, or beating it senseless if you would like, we will occasionally lie about it, because that is our shtick, and the only thing that makes this interesting, apparently. But it is incumbent upon the rest of us listening to try to snatch them lies just straight out of the air,
Give me that.
pull them down, and put them in a pocket.
I don't even know
Feel
what's
like
going on
gravy
anymore.
spread over a big old pile of flapjacks.
Or just spread over lettuce. And so this week, Courtney is going to regale us with something that I am sure is going to knock my non-existent socks off.
Let me go put
not
on
wearing
some
socks?
socks.
I'm not wearing socks. I just have slippers on.
Got your flippy floppies?
I ain't even got pants.
Ooh.
I just
Ooh, can confirm.
realized that I don't know how many lies there are.
Is that a
Well.
lie?
No.
Bullshit.
Hold on.
Well, I have my Arnold Palmer that I can toast that with, even
Michael,
though there's no lemonade in it. So.
You know, royalty-free elevator music is really easy to find, right? And it would be a
Yes.
shame if royalty-free elevator music was playing right now.
It'd be even more of a shame if
Okay.
someone didn't just. Oh well, never mind.
4.
Allegedly.
Bullshit.
I like the start of this show.
You know,
Feels
I know you
saucy.
brought me on because I was professional.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have to say, I really feel like I'm living up to my full potential right now.
I feel like you just got Michaeled. We've all been there
Whoa,
before.
whoa! That was too much. She is no. She's way better than that.
I mean, you're easily the best stitcher amongst the four of us. So, I mean, there's little else we can expect.
There is proof of that in existence.
True that.
And you're a far better Christian than any of us.
Also true.
Not anymore, but you know,
It doesn't matter. You
Well,
Well,
still
then you're
got
going to
closer.
hell, kiddo.
that's the plan.
If religion were like horseshoes, you would be winning right now.
Yes.
You got closest to the mark out of any of us.
You know what? That's fair. I don't think that's arguable at all. Yeah.
You know what, though? That is a really great segue because I am going to talk to you about my personal Lord and Savior today, Dolly
Nikki.
Rebecca Parton.
Oh.
DP, I have waited so long to crest
Jesus
those beautiful canyons.
Christ.
I think you mean mountains, but we'll get
Oh,
there.
no. I want to get to the
Everests.
depths.
Oh, her
That's the
Tennessee State
interesting.
Troopers? Yeah.
Well,
Whoa,
they're not
whoa.
called the Appalachians for nothing, bud.
Oh, God.
Working 9 to 5.
I like how it started innocent and then we all ended as like morning DJs.
Oh, welcome.
welcome.
You know what podcast you're on, friend, so it's not going to end any differently.
We are one soundboard away.
You know what's so funny? So I spent a lot of time yesterday finishing this up, making sure everything was good. And then I listened to a couple of interviews with Dolly, and she has no problem making quips about her breasts, which are so funny. Like people, like everyone will make quips at her. Like if you listen to any late night talk show host, it's like, oh, we're going to make fun of the blonde with big boobs. And she's like, oh yeah, well, here's a better joke. Suck it. And I love her for that. It's great.
She and I are basically the same person.
Blonde.
In what
Can
ways?
confirm.
The blonde
All
with
of
the
them.
big tits who's self-effacing about it. It's great.
Yeah, I like my titties.
Oh, I can't wait to see the rhinestone outfit that you wear next Friday. Then I'm even more excited now.
You haven't seen my underwear, and it shows.
It is known.
So tune in for After Dark to see what he's wearing.
I'm not John. I'm not going to stand up and expose myself to the masses.
Oh God, not
Oh, you
again.
want to see my feet?
Not
Probably
again.
No.
scratching them right now.
No, thank you, Smeagol. You keep that shit to yourself.
He's just holding his foot like this, one hand all between the toes.
Yep.
Oh, you mean?
Ugh.
Like,
Oh no! Oh, put that.
I will
Oh,
put this on TikTok.
oh.
Watch yourself, boy.
One toe to rule them all.
Okay.
if no one else will hold my hand, I have to get creative.
Ugh. Anyways.
Pardon me.
Yeah, pardon me, right? So basically, I'm gonna start you right off with like the most recent news that I enjoyed about Dolly, which some of you might have seen because she did recently, about a year ago, donate $1 million to research for the Moderna vaccine.
Ooh.
And then once she did that, she actually posted a video on Twitter entitled Dolly Getting a Taste of Her Own Medicine, in which she actually got the vaccine in like a live video, which was fantastic.
It was the weirdest penetration the internet's ever seen.
That's
You know, it was
debatable.
so. If you watched it with no visual context, you might think that's what was happening because it was like, "Oh, you're so clumsy. I hope you don't, stick me wrong or whatever." Like it was, it was like a lot going on.
Now I just want to
Go
hear the
on.
audio for it.
You haven't vaxxed me hard enough to treat me this way.
I'm not surprised, though, that she's fighting viral strains because she has been an open advocate for trying to stamp out the chest cold for years.
Exactly.
God damn.
Exactly. One of my favorite quotes of hers in that video was she goes, "I'm old enough to get it and I'm smart enough to get it." And I'm like, damn, Dolly, get it, girl.
Thought you were going to call
Literally.
it dog. Damn, dog.
Damn, dog.
No, Randy Jackson's a different episode.
It's a
Oh.
little pitchy for me, my friend.
Didn't like it.
And then, of course, in the video, she had to take her famous song Jolene and change the lyrics a little bit. So she sings, "Vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. I'm begging of you, please don't hesitate. Vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. 'Cause once you're dead, then it'll be too late."
Is that song bullshit?
No.
The lyric? Oh my god.
You know Jolene ain't bullshit.
No, I mean changing it to vaccine. That's I think that
clever.
might be worse than Sound of Silence.
It is clavier.
You just aren't
No,
ready for
it's
it yet.
great. It's perfect.
Let's also not gloss over the fact that is Sam's favorite song for some reason, for the woman who claims
Fucking
she's
really?
like an avowed hater of country music, and she's been begging us to cover that song for at least 4 years now.
I think I'm as surprised authentically as I think
Authentic.
you would be if I was like, "Hey, we should play Wagon Wheel."
But you
That's
should
just-
play Wagon Wheel. That would be hysterical.
Trick question. I wish I could remove that song from the face of the fucking earth.
Whoa.
Song is trash, hot garbage.
I've never heard it to completion.
Good.
I have never even
guess
heard
what?
of it.
It goes nowhere. It stays
You've
the
definitely
same.
heard it, Michael.
Have I? Okay.
You definitely.
Yeah,
Everybody's
rock me,
heard it.
Michael, like a wagon wheel. You
Yeah.
fuck.
Your taste is bad enough. It's found you somehow.
Okay, that's fair.
Whew.
I feel it.
That was delayed. I heard you say it. And I was like, wait, what did he say? Oh god damn, that hurt. That was an oof. You okay there, Michael? Looks like a wind got knocked out of you.
No, I said that makes sense. Did you lose me? Hello?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
What?
You there, God?
What?
Anyway, Dolly, sorry.
So,
you
like
really
many.
threw me.
Oh boy.
Where are
John
you?
is rocked like a wagon wheel.
No, I just got really triggered by Shane, and I couldn't let it go. Sorry.
Over that? All right.
Apparently.
Anyways, so like many uncultured kids of my generation, I came to know Dolly Parton as Miley Stewart's godmother on the Disney Channel classic Hannah Montana. It wouldn't be until many years later that I was actually driving and listening to some interview on NPR, and they were talking about a new podcast that was going to be about Dolly's life. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And they were playing like little bits of her old music. And at that time I was like, why have I never heard this before? Like, this is fantastic. And so yesterday I ended up re-listening to about 3 hours of Dolly Parton's America. Really great podcast. It's only 9 episodes. Definitely recommend it. And I did use it as part of my research, so I'll link it in the show notes. So a little background on Dolly. So she was born in Locust Ridge, Tennessee. She's the 4th of 12 children.
Oh.
And her family was so dirt poor that when she was born, her dad paid the doctor with a bag of cornmeal. Like, so poor. It was...
She's
go
so
ahead.
poor she couldn't afford to pay attention.
Yeah, no, that was coming.
Well, she loved the cornmeal so much, she got one bag for, each side. And ever since, it's just been...
Call me cornbread.
I was gonna say you could say that she's been paying with cornmeal for quite some time in that context.
I'm sorry, I'm lactose intolerant. I'm going to milk that joke all night. I'm sorry.
God. Oh.
No,
How do you feel about silicone, though?
we'll
Well,
find out.
I'll feel it, but
Jeez.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to apologize. I moved like 100 chairs on my own today, and so I might be a bit delirious.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It was mentioned in a few different articles that their large family lived in a one-room cabin for at least 5 or 6 years. So 12 kids, 2 parents, 1 room, not enough space. But they did find music as a way to entertain themselves, which is where Dolly really credits where she got started. Her mom would sing a lot to the kids. And then, of course, she was raised in a Baptist church. So that really helped kind of get her music going as well. She started singing in church around the age of 6 or 7.
Bullshit. She was Jewish.
No.
Taking a stab.
But you are close. So I will give it to you because it was not a Baptist church. It was a Church of God.
Okay.
So very different. Good catch. I actually put that lie in there for you. So well done.
Well, bless you and everyone else who's also Baptist. Nobody else
Baptist,
gets
you're going
credit,
to hell.
apparently.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the age of 13, she had recorded her first single called Puppy Love and appeared at the Grand Ole Opry. The same year, she would go on to meet Roy Orbison of Pretty Woman fame. He encouraged her.
That's Roy Orbison, but we'll
What did I say?
Ormondson, I think he became
I think I left
Swedish.
the R out. I can't
Welcome,
spell.
I am Roy Ormondson. Pretty woman,
Exactly.
won't you fart on me, pretty woman?
You motherfucker.
Should never have trusted you.
No, yeah, I definitely have his name spelled wrong in here.
Okay, all right. I like him better though if he's Roy Ormondson. That's his Swiss cousin.
That's canon.
Yep, perfect. But when she had met him, he had basically encouraged her to follow her own instincts regarding her career. And that was really like a common thread. Like she would do a project and then be like, this ain't it. And she would move on. The day after graduation in 1964, at 19, Dolly moved to Nashville, where she would be known for her songwriting abilities and not her voice. Once she did finally sign with Monument Records for her voice, it wasn't even for the genre that we know her for. They told her that her voice was too high pitched, and because of her vibrato, she should be singing like pop music. Or they also had suggested that she sing like rock music, which she said that in an interview, but I couldn't find.
I thought she started in country.
No.
Oh.
Huh.
Interesting.
Fun fact.
Or
secondary...
she's what fucked up the whole pop country deal, right?
That's not till way later in her career,
Okay.
actually.
I was like, what a sweep.
Whoa, jeez. I
No,
got
there's
whiplash.
that show I mentioned it maybe a month or so ago called This Is Pop. And I think the 3rd episode is how pop took over country, and they talk about Dolly Parton for just a spell with her involvement. So
Okay. Well, I was going to say, to my recollection, other than Jolene, like the most famous song that she is associated with, which she's technically not associated with, is, of course, the theme to The Bodyguard. That she will, in fact, always love you, as performed by Whitney Houston for that. And
Had no
Houston
idea.
is famed and credited, but Dolly Parton wrote that puppy. So
And we're gonna talk
sorry
about
if
it.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
sorry
yeah.
if I stole your thunder there,
No,
but
you're
like, so
good.
the soul or pop sensibilities there.
Yeah, exactly. But when they originally signed her, it was to do more of like a bubblegum pop sound, not country yet.
That's interesting.
It's really weird. There was a couple articles that cited that. One of the interviews I listened to, she said that they wanted her to sing rock music, but that didn't really like.
I mean, it kind of jives with what you would expect for, some of the, like, I would think of Heart and some
Sure.
of the
I
similar
can see that.
sounding bands that might have a vein she could have plugged in there, but.
But yeah, so basically did not start in country music, but she did pitch the idea of, hey, this is my roots. I'm from Tennessee. This is the music that I like to write. Can I sing, country music? And they were like, no. And so Dolly would go on to write and sing harmony uncredited on the song Put It Off Until Tomorrow, which was recorded by Bill Phillips. When the song hit number 6 on the country charts, her label finally caved and allowed Dolly to start working on country music.
Mm-hmm.
Dolly would go on to debut on the country charts with a song that she wrote called Dumb Blonde, which if you have not heard that song, it's actually one of my favorite Dolly songs. Contrary to its title, it's a song about female empowerment in the sense of like she looks like a dumb blonde, but don't mess with her. Like she's not gonna fall for your crap, which is again like big Dolly energy. She was underestimated a lot based on her looks. And so to come out kind of with that song as your debut was kind of just a fun jab at herself, but also at the industry as a whole. And speaking of her looks, in a 2020 Wired autocomplete interview, which I don't know if you guys have watched those, I love those interviews, but basically celebrities, they're given like a little poster board and it will have Google and it'll say like, who is,
okay.
and then it'll be like, who is Dolly Parton? What does Dolly Parton do? One of them was, what does Dolly Parton look like? And so in this interview, Dolly says she based her looks off of the town tramp from when she was growing up. A woman in her town who had big hair, wore a lot of makeup and high heel shoes. People would say to Dolly when she was young that this woman was nothing but trash. So even as a young girl, Dolly said she decided that if that's what trash was, I want to be trash.
There you go.
Damn.
Awesome.
I love it.
Fuck yeah. That's empowerment.
She's just like, we're just doing it.
Yeah.
Michael, your look makes so much more sense to me now.
I mean, I wake up trash. I go to bed trash. I might as well just complete the look, complete the cycle.
You are my favorite
Trash?
Yeah, you're my favorite trash.
Thank you.
You are my
appreciate
favorite possum person. You are, in fact,
That's
the
kind of
possum
what I was
king.
aiming for. I just couldn't get
Yes,
there.
yes,
It's not
I'm
too
there.
hard for me to look like I'm playing dead. I just have to sit still. So.
Quick, hold your breath.
No, you should see him at work. He looks dead.
Oh, that's because I am when I work.
We've seen the picture. It's in our group chat. And we got, don't forget the infamous one as well. He looks like he's dead no matter where he is. Playing cards on a patio table with a beer in his hand. Should be happy as can be.
No.
Looks like you're literally like, I'm gonna
dead.
drive off the freeway on the way home.
Or, watching a National Geographic documentary and slack-jawed and nearly on the verge of just passing out in a bar somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I forgot that. That was
And
from
it was
a
his
long
birthday.
Oh no. That reminds me so much. We're rewatching Adventure Time from the beginning because it's just a fun show to have on in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna send you a clip later of it's Finn listening to Jake play music and he's just sitting there with his mouth open and his eyes glazed over, and I was like, that's got big Michael energy. And he's like, are you okay? And he's like, this is just what I look like when I'm listening to music.
I bet I do the same thing. I just turn off everything so I can focus completely on the music. As if that's how I'd answer if anyone asked me.
Well, I'd like to say I'm familiar with the show, but I have just barely caught up to watching tumbleweeds rumbling in the breeze, so...
Well, at least you've moved on from bashing rocks together.
Yes, and the occasional ripple in a stream as I sit,
Ooh, that's good
eyeing
prime
my
time.
own reflection. Yes.
Oh, I don't watch that. That's too gory for me.
I'm like a cat standing in front of a mirror. I just keep batting at myself in the water and recoiling from the sensation.
How do you feel about islands in the stream, though?
Well, I mean, I'll get there.
He's got to move his way up. That's like season 4. He's still on season 1. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
At
Can't
this
always
point,
be gold.
I could spend the next 3 hours telling you guys about the groundbreaking and iconic music career of Dolly Parton.
And you
You
You know,
aren't?
the balls.
And I'm not going to,
Aw.
even though she is credited for writing over 3,000 songs.
No balls.
Oh, shit. No,
And-
really?
Probably my favorite fun fact that I found was that she wrote I Will Always Love You and Jolene in the same day. 2 of her best songs, same day. Like, that's
Does she have the
crazy.
receipts?
There was a tape her and her husband had found,
Oh,
an old
fuck
tape
right
while
off.
they were cleaning out her house.
Don't ruin my sarcasm.
Eat a dick. Take that, John.
So actually, John, you are a failure. Anyways.
Wow.
Welcome to the club.
Did they carbon date these recordings?
yes. Thanks, Shane.
I mean,
My
they
best
would
friend
Tell
have
by the
to.
pixels. Did they shop it? You can.
She's 73 now, so yeah, it would have to be carbon dated.
Oh god.
Count the rings on her boobs. I don't know how old she is.
Oh. Gotta take a core sample.
They are called wrinkles, and I adore every single hair follicle, friend.
Anyway, back to
But yeah, anyways, 3,000 plus songs. She paved the way for country artists, and kind of like what John mentioned too, that cross of pop country. I keep wanting to say pop punk. I don't know.
I would
wrong
love
with
to
me.
hear a pop punk Dolly record.
I mean, if Johnny Cash did Hurt before he won, then I think Dolly owes us at least a pop punk album.
You know what? I will call her personally when we wrap this up, and we'll figure that out.
Dolly Parton brings us Ocean's Avenue.
That would fuck.
Oh, it slaps. It's so good. Also read that she plays like 20 different instruments, and I was just like,
Of course she does.
what the hell?
I mean, if it's been
Why
your
do
life-
some people get all the talent? I don't
How does
understand.
she find the time?
Do you like do this for a living or?
Yeah. Well,
guess
that's the
so.
crazy thing. So between doing all this, and the thing that I'm going to focus more on is she's done a ton of philanthropy. Like, just the amount of things that she has done from different communities is really cool. And so that's
Not what
what
you
I'm going
think
to
it
highlight.
is, John.
I know exactly what it is. Thank you.
It's not what your wife accuses you of.
Boo.
That's philandering. It's different entirely.
Boo.
Boobs.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, no. So everyone except for Michael is probably familiar with the song I Will Always Love You, as Shane mentioned previously.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Just can't help
I'm
myself.
not going to spend too much time actually on the song, although while going back and listening through interviews, I did hear about the producer who worked with Whitney to record the song. And originally when they recorded it for The Bodyguard, they weren't going to include the third verse, which is Dolly's favorite part of the song. So when the producer called Dolly and was like, listen to this, she was like, where's the third verse? Like, that's the best part. And so they had Whitney record. They actually did the recording live. So what she was doing on stage is what ended up in the movie. And they took her the lyrics and they're like, here you go. And then Whitney's mom was actually there when they were filming. And she goes up to the producer and she's like, you're witnessing magic right now. And it was just amazing.
Michael, I'm sorry in advance. Because this joke is not going to make it into the episode.
Oh,
They,
no.
And
Oh.
They handed Whitney the lyric sheet, and she's like,
woohoo! That's a pretty bad joke. That's why I like it so much.
sorry, I couldn't help it.
I had someone make a sound joke about or doing the same kind of riff that you were doing, and then he looked at me after I laughed, and he goes, "Yeah, I guess we shouldn't really be joking about this at a bar, huh?" Or like me, because he's a stranger, and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's a really aggressive way to meet you, but it was a funny joke."
Like, what are you, Amber
Now please
Heard's
leave.
divorce lawyer?
Oof.
All right, we back.
Ugh.
Don't call it a comeback.
Oh, no.
He has a name. Never mind. Now we're in.
If you keep treating her this way, she's going to quit.
Gonna leave, okay?
Oh my God.
We all abuse each other. It's the only way we make it through these things.
It's very accurate. So as Shane pointed out, Dolly wrote the song. She actually originally recorded the song. If you haven't heard that version, I actually prefer it. It's really beautiful. And when she had originally wrote the song, she was actually approached by Elvis, and he was like, hey, I would like to also record the song, and if I do, I want like half credit for writing it. And she was like, no, like, I'm not doing that. Like, you can't have my song. Which is really fortunate because we may have never had the Whitney Houston version had she given rights to Elvis to record the song.
Do you feel the same way about that I do about the Rod Stewart version of Downtown Train? Have we had this discussion before?
No, I don't think
I don't
so.
think we have.
So the song was originally written by Tom Waits, and Tom Waits admittedly does not have the world's greatest singing
Can you do a
voice.
quick impression?
Well, I'm gonna find you, Mr. Pocket. Oh,
Yep.
Mr. Pocket, I'm gonna find you.
That
So-
is a Waits impression.
Tom Waits wrote that song, recorded it, and it is one of the most harrowingly beautiful songs about a man who lusts after someone who is completely unattainable. The exact line, which actually kills me, says, "I'm nothing that will capture your heart," which is really staggering. And like, you listen to that and it gives me shivers every time I think about it. And then Rod Stewart performed the song and it turned into "If You Want My Body on a Train." And he's just gyrating around and he's singing, and it just ruins all of the emotional content of the song. And he's like trying to seduce the woman on the train, as opposed to being the disgusting, chimp in the back who's just going like, "Man, she's pretty. I'll never talk to her. I won't. I'm going to find Mr. Pocket instead." So is that sort of similar to the sentiment that you find with the Dolly version versus the Whitney Houston? Because the Whitney's is very over the top. And, necessarily so, given the context, but...
Well, first, I would like to say that I could not on a train. But I think that Whitney's version has a place. One of the cool things about The Bodyguard is they kind of knew what music they were going to have throughout and what she was going to sing. And it wasn't until the movie was in production that they started looking for that finale song. So that all came together very organically. Kind of a really neat story. I will say, though, the only issue I have with the Whitney version is how many people have tried to cover the Whitney version and how often people try to perform that song in the same way. Mm-hmm. Where I think is you would get a lot more traction if people sang it more in the style as how Dolly originally wrote it, which is much slower and kind of more sentimental, more guitar. So I like both versions, but I would say like Dolly's, it's just got that like oomph to it for me.
Okay. Yeah, one's a showpiece, one's a love letter.
Exactly. And that was one of the things that was so interesting about all the songs that Dolly has written, because she's kind of gone through periods of writing, and she would write some of the most tragic songs that you've ever heard. Some of them were like, one of them was her aunt was put into a mental hospital by her abusive husband. And so she wrote a song from the perspective of the aunt. She wrote a song about a girl who was 17 who got pregnant and killed herself by jumping off a bridge. Trigger warning. And just like these really like tragic, gut-wrenching songs, but they're like hauntingly beautiful. And you're like, I'm confused, but I'm enjoying this. But like, damn, this hits hard. And she actually was writing songs about abortion 5 years before Roe v. Wade. Just, she's so interesting.
It's the Elvis Costello school of songwriting. Well, he's famed. He has a song called Veronica, which is a very up-tempo, boppy little tune, and it is about his mother suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia and forgetting her name in a hospital, and like having conversations with her about people who steal her clothes and things. So when you listen to the song, the way that the song sounds is dramatically different from the lyrical content, which is, something I have tried to steal. So
there's like a deep well of those songs too. You could even do "Semi-Charmed Life."
I was gonna say that.
I think that's like the most
would.
popular. I feel like that's the most popular.
No, I meant
accessible.
Michael of anybody.
Yeah, but I didn't want John to be like, "Oh, really? Name 5." So I.
You can do it now. I trust you.
I've forgotten them all.
Well, I'll never let it go, or you, Michael.
There's another song that's like that specifically, it's about a car accident, and I can't think of what the name of the song is, but it's like a really up-tempo song, and you're like, oh, this is fun, and then you listen to it, and you're like, this is not fun, she's dead.
It's kind of the compliment that your buddy gave our band. I don't know if you'd want us to say his name or not. Courtney.
What?
Who's buddy? Little redhead.
Oh,
What buddy?
What did he say?
There's a band
about our Shane and I's band. He was saying he came up to me. He's like, yeah, I started paying attention to the lyrics in your guys' songs, and I was kind of making sure that you guys were okay.
Nope.
And I was like, yeah, it's a lot of fun when people realize that there's some pretty dicey shit in the songs. Way heavier than we had any right to really put down.
Yeah, it's a
But
well
anyway.
of pain covered in confetti.
Yeah, not to break our arms stroking ourselves off here, but
Well, it's funny that you say that, because my sister was looking over your discography, and she was like, do you know what that is? that's for like overdoses. Like, and I was like, yeah, I understand what the song is about, Kat. Thanks.
These are the jokes, kid.
She hasn't been to.
I get it now. Ha 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 ha. Sorry, shit.
Whoa! That was so great. Hey, Michael, you should use that silence to calibrate the room noise.
Good God.
I love that so much.
And I love Dolly Parton.
Oh my God. And I will always love you.
Sorry, Jonah.
And
Sorry, God.
So when Dolly gave over the rights to do the song and do all the recording, in the 90s, she made in the ballpark of about $10 million in royalties for that song. And so she was like, okay, I got all this money and like I have a lot of other projects going on. Like, what do I want to do with this money? Because she really wanted to do something that honored, the work that Whitney had done on the song, and she really appreciated that. So she actually took the money and went and invested in a strip mall in a majority Black neighborhood in Nashville.
I was so afraid of where that sentence was going to go based on
Yeah,
one of the words.
Tense. Yeah.
Sometimes I can't tell, is he tense or constipated? Like, he drinks enough coffee that it shouldn't be the second option, but you never know.
I'm as regular as the tide.
Yeah.
But Dolly is quoted as saying, I just thought, this was great. I'm going to go down here with her people who are my people. This is the house that Whitney built. And Dave Ewing, who is a Nashville historian, told the Post that Parton had bought the Sevier Park neighborhood complex in 1997. It was during a time when most recording artists would shy away from the area, adding that Parton had revamped it, putting money into the landscape and the neighborhood. And then with the purchase, had made a difference in that area. And he says also, we're just hearing about this now because of the Black Lives Matter movement, how down for the cause Dolly has always been, even when others in the music industry weren't, which I thought was really cool.
A pioneer for the disenfranchised, starting with her gender and then moving forward. Certainly something to be laurelized.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then he also goes on to say, I don't know if I put this in here twice because I'm a professional. Dolly Parton could have built and bought any piece of property in Nashville, but you would have had to gone out of your way to buy in the 12 South neighborhood because no realtor would have shown Dolly that piece of land to buy.
Interesting.
So just a really cool thing that she had done. And this was even before Whitney's tragic passing. She was already trying to honor her, which was really cool. And then I don't know if any of you guys knew this. I definitely didn't. But Dolly Parton is an icon in the LGBTQ plus community. In one article I read, Dolly was quoted as joking about same-sex marriage. Why can't they be as miserable as us heterosexuals in their marriages? Which I'm like, yeah.
Did she actually say that?
She absolutely did.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I've heard it a bunch, but I didn't know if she...
Yeah, and then she actually followed that joke up by saying, hey, I think love is love, and we have no control over that. I think people should be allowed to marry whoever they want. And then she followed it up as someone who proclaims to be a Christian. I'm not God, I believe in God. I think God is to judge. I don't judge or criticize, and I don't think we're supposed to. Which is a really big statement given her roots, where she's from, and her religious background. So just another fun tidbit about
Bravo.
Dolly.
Yeah.
Now, I will say there was some stuff that I found that people were like, well, she's a capitalist and all this stuff. And I was like, well, no one's perfect. She grew up poor. She probably does enjoy the money factor. I get it. But she's done a lot of really cool stuff as well. And maybe one of my favorite things that she's done, in 1995, Dolly founded the Imagination Library, which was a program that sent out books to low-income families in the town that she grew up in. She was inspired. Yeah. The reason that she wanted to deal with books specifically is her father was illiterate. And she had a really great relationship with her dad and wanted to honor him. And this is how she chose to do it.
That's fantastic.
And this program actually still exists. By 2003, the Imagination Library had mailed over 1 million books nationally. And then as of this recording, they have mailed over 100 million books to kids, not only in the United States, but also in other countries. So the program has extended to Canada, Mexico, the United Kingdom, and Australia, and then most recently the Republic of Ireland. So basically the way this program works is each month, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library mails a high-quality, age-appropriate book to all registered children, and it's addressed directly to the kid, which is so cute.
Aww.
And this comes at no cost to the family, and they don't care what your income is. Like, it's a very, like, inclusive, like, let's get books in the hands of little kids. So
I see your incoming future for your next profession, actually.
So I linked it in the show notes as well. So if anybody's interested, I tried to see if it was available in my zip code. It's currently not, but there is a branch like in Scottsdale, Arizona. There's a couple in Phoenix that you can join. So if anyone's interested, definitely check it out. The website's really cool. It's got a lot of cool information.
Totally down.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, if you are interested in sponsoring the program, I think you can actually go on there and be a partner with it. So something that Shane and Melissa might be interested in looking into.
I'm people who know people, so I think I can make that happen.
And then I only have one more little tidbit for you guys, but I really think that this is going to be the hard hitter here. Michael, are you familiar with Dolly the Sheep?
Yes.
Do you want to tell us about Dolly the Sheep?
Yeah, so Dolly, if I'm remembering this correctly,
The fuck is happening right now?
Dolly is a sheep, but not just any sheep.
Oh, no.
No, I'm kidding. Dolly was the first fully cloned animal.
Oh.
Yes, yeah. That was.
Do you know how she was cloned?
Oh,
Magnets.
yeah. Actually, I like John's answer. I probably did at one point or another, but I'm just gonna say magnets.
I think you misremember, because to my recollection, it was the first documented woolen mallard that was ever found in the wild.
That's fucking right. But why you right? But why you right?
This is my new canon. I love it.
I love it so much. So as Michael said, Dolly was the first ever animal to be cloned. She was cloned using a mammary cell. So the scientists were like, LOL, she was made out of a boob cell. We're naming it Dolly after Dolly Parton.
I had no
Can I
idea.
guess something real quick?
Yeah, guess
That's
something.
not bullshit.
It's not bullshit.
Oh!
Yeah,
As an aficionado myself.
to say, in a world where people shot an elephant in the ass with an LSD dart, it is not outside the realm of possibility that there was a boob joke when they were
That sounds like
cloning
the one. Yeah, it sounds like the one thing those nerds have. They're like, listen, we get to do this and we get to name it. Don't care if we're successful in doing whatever we're doing, but the name, that's what's the most important.
So, we made it out of boobs, so we're going to call it Dolly.
Yeah, do you know that women are just boobs?
I was picturing Michael, actually, when I was researching this. But Michael was just like,
Instead of the
boobs.
alien guys, instead of the History Channel aliens or lemurs, it's him just going with his hands up, just like boobs.
And did you know that boobs are just bags of sand?
Is there something in the article about one of the scientists touching Dolly and saying, or the sheep, and saying, I touched a boob?
No.
Is that what you would do, Michael?
But I imagine that was unrecorded, but probably did happen.
Let's remind everybody that Michael is from Clark County, where the men are men and the sheep are scared.
Whether or not you're cloned or
Especially if they're cloned.
Especially.
Boobs are boobs, whether they're cloned, silicone.
I don't care if it's a fax copy of a sheep.
What I'm telling you, I'm fucking that duck.
Well, that's why they had to clone it, so it could have a nice pair.
I like when you come down here with us.
One of us.
We all float down here?
Oh, we float.
Only if it's on my back. Yeah.
Noted.
But Dolly the Sheep, icon, clearly. But the best part and this is, I'm going to tell you right now, this is 100% true. When Dolly the
Phenomenal
Sheep,
falsetto.
when Dolly the Sheep was retired from science, she went to live at Dollywood. And she went on to like live out the rest of her days like grazing in a pasture in Dollywood. And that is the best thing I've ever heard.
Fucking great.
How do you retire from science? Because I've got to find a form for Michael.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I used that exact verbiage when I was telling that to Jonah earlier. And he was like, did the sheep work there? And I was like, I'm keeping that as is then.
Yeah.
She
Perfect.
just like punches a time card. Last day, it's like, well, it's time for me to go now. Puts on an old bowler cap and just a jacket and walks right out.
No,
Well,
based
Not
on
coming back
Jesus
till Monday.
Christ,
This
my
place
jokes
is
aren't
bad
cracking at
shit
all.
today.
I was like, based on your story, Michael, the sheep actually took part in the hashtag Me Too movement.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, and I would say, you know, Dolly did retire from science, and she definitely did a lot more than Michael in a short amount of time. So maybe you should consider retiring, Michael.
It's not hard. It's not hard to do more than me in science. I'll just say that.
But how, Michael? You have so many books.
None of these are mine.
He can't
I
read.
just bought them and I look smart.
Hey, these look like you got fucking pictures in them.
I am a professor at a degree-granting institution. I have to have books.
I
Those
feel
are-
like we've been so slap happy this hour that we haven't even tried outside of Shane grabbing the Baptist live.
Well, you tried once, John. You know, when he said that is
That's the
definitely
very
not
beginning.
bullshit.
That wasn't a guess. That was an affirmation.
That's what he does in the mirror every morning. This is definitely not bullshit.
That is where you're incorrect.
I am definitely bullshit. Let's do it.
Not today, Dolly.
earlier when we were complimenting our possum-like friend, that's how I affirm myself in the mirror. Like, what's up, you little trash-eating possum bitch? Give you little dark circles under the eyes looking motherfucker.
Oh my god. So that is Dolly Parton philanthropy in a nutshell. And that just kind of like scratches the surface. Like, this woman has had the most amazing life, an incredible career. She's been married for 54 years to the same man. Like,
I feel like she could have like a sitcom, like a 30-minute sitcom with all of her different works as an episode.
Hello, Dolly.
Yeah. Yeah, hello, Dolly. I love Dolly. Yeah.
Dolly Llama.
can I interest you in 9 to 5, the movie?
I have seen 9 to 5, the
What
movie.
is 9 to 5, the movie?
You're
Go on,
obviously not a
Shane.
child of the 80s. Miss
Please,
Dolly
Shane.
Parton is working 9 to 5.
Oh, okay.
It's a fairly simple premise. And she even wrote songs for the soundtrack, which are delightful.
And
Wait.
then Jane Fonda is also in that movie.
Hmm.
What is the name of that other actress? But they're talking about doing like a revival situation with the three of them, which is just amazing.
She was in a movie with Lily Tomlin as well.
Lily Tomlin is in that movie. That's who it is.
Yes, that's the one. Okay,
Yep.
so they're fantastic. Comedic timing for Dolly Parton is actually one of her most exquisite gifts, and I am not saying this to set up a joke. She has phenomenal timing as far as delivering a punchline. So in that movie, it is a tour de force performance, rivaled only by her performance in The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Oh,
I'm
man.
not, for once, I'm the Michael here.
I've
you
never
were
seen
talking
these
about
things.
movies, and I was like, is this real life? Like, what are these things?
Well, you know,
So I will check them out.
I was 33 when they came out, so it's I've had a lot of time to ruminate and contemplate them in the intervening 40 years.
Okay.
So I have a couple stabs.
Okay.
Yes,
is
please.
is paying for the baby with cornmeal bullshit?
It's not
Oh.
bullshit.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah,
That
she
is
told the story in an interview. She was born actually at the church for some reason. Like, they were there and mom went into labor. And so the pastor was a doctor and he delivered the baby. And then they were like, I got cornmeal.
It's better than what they gave Harlan Sanders for that baby up on the overpass. So
Oh, no.
he was just made a colonel. And also,
Just a delicious ear of corn.
how were there actually 12 children in her family?
There were.
Okay.
And
Damn,
in fact,
I thought 9 for me was fucking tough. 12 was bullshit.
it's a lot. And her mom, so they were just a set of twins. So it was 11 pregnancies before she was 34, I think is what it said. So she was just
hardcore.
always pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Whew.
Yowza.
What else you got for me?
I'm
I
running
don't
over
know.
things in
I
my
ain't got
brain.
Fucking shit.
I'm here. That's about as much
I'm
as
so
I can contribute.
disappointed that John and Michael aren't, Dolly aficionados.
I think John's
I mean-
sitting high on the hog of like, I presented last week.
I really
I don't have
am.
to
I'm
do
still on a-
shit for 3 months.
Hey, you know what? Not to get off topic here, I have
no.
Too late.
3 paragraphs written for another topic already.
Holy shit, who are you?
Hold
You're
on.
not John.
We're
Bullshit.
dead.
And then the reason why I probably seem a little slap happy and like giddy about it is because I'm like, oh, I don't have to finish my script with 5 hours to go before I meet you guys. I can actually have it prepared like a month in advance because that's how many people are in our show, and that can. Yeah. So anyway,
Well,
let's get to it for our film.
I'm glad that our heavy lifting has finally facilitated you existing in the realm that you would like to become accustomed to.
If you would like to talk to Becky about our marriage and the similarities, feel free.
I don't need another reason to die, John.
Nor I. What were the other lies?
So Shane caught the first one. She did not grow up Baptist. She grew up in the Church of God. I told you that when she was 13, she had met Roy. I'm not going to read the last name again because it's wrong.
Yarmanson.
Yeah.
Jarman.
That's not true. He actually was neighbors with the person that she had met at 13, which was Johnny Cash.
I
Ah.
hate you and everything you stand for.
Well, what do you stand for?
Why?
I love Johnny Cash, and the fact that I didn't know this offends me to my core.
Oh,
Just watch
well,
Walk the Line again. You'll feel fine.
Johnny Cash ain't a...
Woohoo!
Fuck.
You're going to have to cut that, Michael. I'm sorry. I'll even give you a snap.
Oh my god.
I love Joaquin
Man.
Phoenix. He's fantastic. I'm just going to... We're
Leave that in.
glossing over that.
Oh no, we can do old school just woohoo. Just old school that.
Yeah, take that one. Yeah, there you go. That sounds
Yeah.
appropriate to me. I like that effort.
Yeah, don't need Reese Withering Heights pretending that she has a personality for 2 hours to ruin on my life.
Yeah, if you wanted that, you could watch Sweet Home Alabama.
I can roll tide.
or Legally Blonde. Hello.
Was it Sweet Home Alabama? Is
Yeah,
that the movie?
uh-huh.
Okay.
I would prefer Illegally Blonde, thank you.
Yes, it's pretty explicit.
Or I could just go watch Fear again and watch Mark Wahlberg try to, molest and murder her.
Oh my God.
Right.
Well, okay then.
Okay.
Tangents.
The next
Tangents.
the next lie. So I told you that Dolly debuted with a country song that she had wrote called Dumb Blonde. That was one of the only songs that she did not write. That song was composed
Wow.
by Curly Putnam. And during this era, she had written she'd written over 3,000 songs in her career, and Dumb Blonde was not one of them.
Come again. Who wrote that?
That was Curly Putnam.
Curly Putman.
Uh-huh. That's
That
your
is
stage name, right?
My new, if I'm going to go on the full cabaret, I shall now be dubbed Curly Putman.
Duly noted.
We'll have to update the Cumslinger titles there.
And then my last lie, which is a cheap shot, but I thought you guys might catch it. But with all the countries that are involved in her reading program, they all spoke English except one. That program is not available in Mexico.
You had touched us so deeply, and somehow you think we're going to call bullshit on anything associated with that beautiful program.
Not the children.
Anything but the children.
Well done.
That's all I got for you.
Well done.
Insidious, you. Fantastic. I was
I commend
engrossed the entire time.
I was just gross, and I apologize.
That's
I
not
was in.
different.
Yeah, I've seen you handling your feet again.
Yeah, I was definitely giving myself some feet fives.
Toe Jamowski over here.
He's just like, that was a nice joke there. Feet 5.
Yeah,
Michael, you finally caught one. You're on base.
Yeah, if you ever hear these noises, I'm not jacking it. That's just my feet.
Are you literally just sitting there like clapping your feet together?
No, I
like,
have my hands here, you fucking idiot.
Oh, I can't see them, and neither can the listener.
Sorry. I'm sorry. You're not.
I'm not an idiot. I'm just fucking.
Yeah.
And there we go. I had one. That's all I.
I'm
that's all I had on
done.
me. So, how's everyone today?
I had a really, really scary.
He was just
work.
kidding. No one gives a shit.
And I'm Michael, and we're out of here.
No, please regale us with tales from behind the bar.
Shane's already heard this one. No, we had someone walk in late night on Saturday because Saturdays were open until 2. And super late night, this dude walks in and he had what I described to Shane as like not the fun kind of tattoos covering his whole body, but like the
ones you take the cap off of a pen and dip it in some moldering juice that has been just laying dormant in the corner of a cell somewhere.
What do they call prison hooch? Isn't it a Pruno?
Oh yeah, Pruno.
You get fucked up on some Pruno.
I thought they call it biscuit.
Yeah, whatever they call it. But he walks in and he's eccentric, but he's not. He's like sticking to himself, and that's all well and fine. There's one of our female regulars. They're talking to a dude, and suddenly I get called into the back, like maybe like 30 minutes into this. And my coworker's like, "Look at the cameras," and I look up at the camera, and the dude is straight up jacking off, like hand down the pants, fucking jerking it. And the entire time he's there, like he's like lifting his shirt up so you can see his tattoos and stuff, and it got really uncomfortable, and neither of us were cozy having the conversation with him because we couldn't tell, like, what he had with him.
Yeah.
So we had to call the cops. We had to wait. I escorted the chick out to her car by taking her out through our back private lot, so like he couldn't see.
I like that
she was leaving.
Like decently endearing yourself to feminists everywhere until you're like, so I took the chick out.
Oh no! I mean,
you were making such great strides.
It wasn't derogatory. We know that wasn't derogatory. But yeah, just one of those scary moments. And then after he realized that she had gone and there was another cute gal in there, she left too. And he's like, "Whoa, guess I'm out of here." But he's like standing at his car, smoking cigarettes, looking down the road as we're waiting for the cops to show up. And he's shirtless at this point. And even though the garage doors are shut, and I know that he can't see us looking at him, it was like one of those like meeting pure evil moments where you could I could see that he was making contact with my eyes from the parking lot, and it was one of the scariest things that's ever happened. And he bounced before the cops even showed up. But
we know where you live, Logan, and we really don't appreciate you behaving that way in public, and I don't think you're allowed to be in our band anymore.
I agree. I think that's the final straw.
I'm really disgusted with you.
In a case of like, I wasn't just like profiling him because he had rough looking tattoos. He was a fucking moron and he paid with his card, so we had his first and last name because we're filing reports because we have everything you need to do that.
Like video.
Well, yeah. Well, they looked him up, and guess who had been serving 8 years prior to jerking off in my bar?
Was it for being a sex offender?
I didn't get those details because I was already rattled. Like,
if you know his name, you can look it up.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah.
I slept like 4 hours that night because I just couldn't stop thinking about it. It was fucked up.
Yeah, these are tumultuous times we exist in.
That reminds me so much of a story that Jonah told me recently from his job.
Is it a transient?
No, this was a paying customer who they had brought their dog into the restaurant, and he was like, "Hey, like, is that a service animal?" And the dude was like, "No," and he was like, "You can't have the dog in here." And so the dude was like, "Whatever." And so the dude had the dog over at the table. And so Jonah goes over to the table, and the dude's just watching porn on his phone in the middle of the dining room. And he looks up at Jonah and like throws his phone because he was caught. And then he was like, "Yeah, man, you should probably go."
I watch it for the plot.
Why was the dog with him whilst he was viewing adult
Well, the dog was
materials?
watching too.
Don't ask
The
the
dog
question.
was
You-
watching too.
And that's the crazy
Don't
part.
ask if you don't want the answer.
'Cause
Try and
it
do
was
a
a
doggy.
It was a French bulldog, so that's like a $3,000 like purebred dog that Jonah's describing. And I'm like, what is this man's life? I have
And
so
this
many
guy's
more
fucking it.
questions.
He's going to jail.
Logan,
So-
you really have to behave better in public.
Damn
Hey,
it, Logan.
I'll text Jonah, but I didn't follow up with him. I feel like him and I could have had a nice chat about both of these experiences
Oh
over a
my
beer this week.
god.
I guess it's not too late, but
It's
yeah.
not safe to be out in public anymore, people.
I
Stay
know people are
home.
getting fucking wild. If you're not familiar about like how the seasons for industry workers go, like we're just about to start getting into season again, and
Yep.
I am fucking terrified. I feel like this is going to be breathtakingly fucked as far as how many dumb people are going to be out and trying to enjoy themselves.
Well, I mean, also,
God,
yeah,
you're
consider
right.
that everybody had been on lockdown, and so this is when the whirling dervish of absolute asinine idiots is just going to reach peak vibrational moments. And this is where all the lunatics have finally shaken free of the confines of their homes or whatever asylums they had been in.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're back in the world in rotation again.
They're
And
back
I'm
on the escalator.
yeah, just really looking forward to how this is all going to shake out. Pardon the pun.
And everyone here is going to hear about it because it's free content at that point.
Yeah, if I had a nickel for every time I had to interrupt someone's jerk fest in the course of my duties, I could have retired. Oh, yeah, I actually had one in August of last year, right when we reopened. It was an individual that I had to eye from the second floor and float around because I'd gotten a report that he was watching inappropriate materials, and that was it. Is just I was told that he was watching inappropriate materials. So I floated up, and thankfully I have a tiered building, so I just hung out on the second floor and got a bird's eye view, and he was just alt-tabbing in and out of Pornhub. And that was not bad enough because then he's wearing a fanny pack. And he was moving it over in front of the crotch so that he could then slide his hands down off the keyboard. And yeah, so I had to go and politely ask him to discontinue that practice and get the fuck out of my building.
But if you can't use the free internet for that, what is it good for?
Well, this is America.
Seriously. Yeah.
And Shane, I feel like this is probably unique to you and I, especially to you, not to put more age
Not
on
to
you.
I, but to you.
But
You.
I felt creative back in the day, like in elementary school, when I'd bring my Walkman and then I cut a hole in the pouch of my hoodie so I could route the earphone or the headphones through underneath my sweatshirt, up my sleeve so that I could, put it up to my ear and pretend that I was sleeping, but listen to music the entire class.
Right.
It's
You-
not
you
where I
definitely
thought that
did
was
that.
going at all.
Or, the times you would go to the movie theater, grab that big popcorn bucket.
Just dicking it.
Extra butter?
After I'm
Triple
done.
butter.
Yeah, that's where John got the nickname Salty Dick.
Oh, guys! Also, R.I.P. Alamo Draft House. I don't know if I told you guys this. They're dead.
Yeah, it's
they
now Majestic
rebranded.
Theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're dead
What? How?
because it's Alamo everywhere else. It's just that
Okay.
the people that franchised it out here in Arizona have, they sued Alamo to break out of their contract to do their own thing, which makes sense probably financially in that context for them or whatever their deal was. So yeah, like you guys are saying, they're rebranding as their own thing, and they said they're going to stay faithful to the concept, but it's not going to be Alamo. So
Why
still
the
gonna
fuck
go,
do
but-
I care?
I don't know. That's where we went and saw Dr. Sleep. We had good times.
No, that's what I'm
there.
saying. Is like if you're not an Alamo Draft House, I have no interest in your wares,
Right.
friends.
Do you think I'm going to be able to drag you guys from across town for Majestic Theaters? You're out of your fucking
Only if Jim
mind.
Carrey's
Majestic
still in it.
Phoenix.
Oh, so even more pretentious. Great. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, listen, I'm hipster as hell. I can only be bothered to get up for the things that are, Texas-based.
Ugh. Well, I guess maybe I can't fault him for wanting to separate from Texas now.
Speaking of which, discussing former topics on this show, not to deviate too wildly, but God bless the Satanic Temple, and I'm sure that's a
Amen.
phrase
Yes.
that does not get wielded very often, but they are fighting the good fight, and I am so thrilled to see every update and post that they throw in regarding the Texas abortion decision, and I'm elated for that.
We should well, one, I want to re-listen, but we should reshare that episode on the socials just to support.
Did you hear that they're going about it in also a separate new way as well? They're trying to sue or not sue, I guess. They're petitioning the FDA to allow different first trimester abortion pills to be distributed freely to members of the Satanic Temple.
Oh, okay.
And they're citing, I can't remember the exact details off the top of my head, but they're citing a previous case where certain Native American tribes were granted the use of peyote, which is a class 1 drug, which is the big no-no drug. They were granted free use of peyote. Yes, the hand gestures, the big no-no drug.
Big no-no drug.
They were granted
The new
use,
no-no drug.
The new no-no.
No.
Class 1. Anyway,
Die.
they were granted the use of peyote for their religious rituals, even though it is heavily regulated and banned. They're using that as a previous, like a case, to try and allow members of the Satanic Temple to have free access to first trimester abortion. I couldn't pronounce the two drugs if I wanted to, but they're also trying to petition and do that as well, in addition to fighting the good fight in Texas. So it's awesome. I fucking love it.
If there is anything I abhor more than hypocrisy, it doesn't readily spring to mind. And so these are the instances where my hackles get up, is when we talk about freedom of religion in this country, as long as it's the right one.
Yep.
And we've chronicled this between the Flying Spaghetti Monster and the Satanic Temple and any number of little sort of nomenclature religions that have popped up, decrying the way that Christianity comports itself, particularly in this country, which is sort of the issue that we brush up against more often than not.
Oh, yeah.
So I just felt like it was worth discussing because we are all in firm support of this. And there's a T-Fury shirt that I want to get just for the joy of tickling my own taint here from time to time. But it's got the Satan loves me no matter what, which made me very happy.
That's
and then there's
fantastic.
another like children's activity book, which is Let's
I love
Conjure
those
Demons.
Oh, I love those.
Those
which
are so
made me
cute.
very happy.
And I'll add too, for anybody who thinks like that's a Texas problem, there is currently someone who's getting ready to run for governor in Arizona named Carrie Lake, who tweeted that she would immediately sign this into our laws here in Arizona. So
wonderful.
She's not a person, she's an anchor.
Yeah. So when election season comes around, friends,
Vote.
Midterms are important too.
vote.
Be informed. Don't be disinformed. Listen to us.
Don't be
don't
like
listen to
us, but listen to us.
Look, we're
And
not all
Wait.
stupid all the time.
We're not going to tell you how
Well-
to vote, but we are going to tell you to fucking research before you vote.
And for the dyslexic amongst you, veto.
Yeah.
Veto.
Or if you're Michael, Vado.
Hey.
No, actually, it's veto. Corleone.
So
smart.
I'm working on an episode where I basically tell you guys lies about the Disinformed podcast. I think I told Shane and Michael about this.
I am elated to
Yes,
catch
yes.
this.
And do you know what the first mispronounced word was on this show?
My
No.
name.
Because this cracked me up.
Oh shit.
Michael said banjo wrong. That was
What?
the first.
How the fuck
So-
did I say it?
Just we're on air.
Banjo?
Don't
I said
give
banjo?
don't give too much away.
Oh, I won't. That
but
tidbit
if
is
you
just
want-
so good.
You can do that as a traditional episode, or if we want to have a couple in the chamber, like Shane's mentioned in the past. Especially if you can give me timestamps of the episode as your sources, we could make like a clip show for a catch up on everything that's happened, and start with the mispronunciations, and I would go through and I could edit that for us. I would like that. That'd be fun.
That'd be super fun.
Yeah. It'd be just like the volume adjustment that you did.
Michael never sent it.
Oh,
I did.
sure did.
I said it was in the drive, Mr.
I
Sir.
didn't have
drive?
a text. I didn't have a text from
It
you.
was sent to the group.
Hey, by the way, did you really vet your answers on that psychopath test, Mr. Nothing's Ever My
Yeah.
Fault?
I did.
Oh, and we're devolving yet again. But I'm fully prepared and absolutely engaged with the idea of Disinformed Season 1. It's going to be fantastic. And I'm going to apologize up front because we're going to get very incendiary next week with my topic. And yeah, this is the one that I have said to the crew here as we're recording. This is the closest I'm ever going to get to doing a last pod episode. Cringeworthy details and also brace for impact, friends. There's going to be a lot of discussion about murder and abhorrent human behavior. So gotta get ready.
Excellent. I'm ready.
Fuck me up, Buttercup.
Indeed. Well, thank you all for being here as per usual. We've got new episodes winging your way every marvelous Monday morning, so be sure that you subscribe, and if you dig what we do, rate and review, because we would love to hear from you. Of course, we occasionally pop up on YouTube as well, so you should go subscribe there also. And if you're curious how to find these things along with our socials, there is a link tree in the show notes that you can click that will take you to a den of delights heretofore unexplored, because our numbers would certify that statement. But I hope that you all continue to come back, and thank you all for going on the now music-themed Season 3, since it seems to be the way that we are going. I'm very tickled by the volume of music talk we have here.
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time.
And rhythm. Maybe.
Occasionally.
Well, I believe that is going to wrap it up like the press of a warm breast around your skull. So for Disinformed this week and all the sheep-loving fun you can handle, I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
And I'm dead. I'm Courtney.
And zippity zoop, we're out of here.
Try that again. Like you have a like you
mean it from the gut.
Yeah.
Say it like you got a sheep backed up against a cliff.
What the fuck? I don't get it.
It can't get away.
Zippity zoop, we're out of here.